Hello guys and welcome to my new video, and today we'll talk about the election that will happen this week in Texas to the 18th Congressional District. It's a special election and it's a very disputed runoff, okay, because we got in November the 4th, we got the first round of this election. We saw a very competitive race, as you can see here, and Amanda Edwards and Christian Menefee will go to the runoff this week on Saturday. The polls will close at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to check, we're gonna have a beautiful live stream that day starting at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, and we expect this to be fast because it's Houston, it is mostly early vote, and we'll talk about early vote later, okay? As you can see here, was a very competitive election between Kristen and Amanda, and we got Yolanda with also an 19%, and as you can see here, the composition of the district is just Houston, Harris County, okay? We don't have anything apart from that, which means this is a very urban district, very Democratic district, and that's why we got 2 Democrats into the runoff, okay? This is a jungle primary, means every candidate go into the election, doesn't matter the party, and that's why we have 2 Democrats. The first Republican to appear is this one here at 7%, very far from the candidate. It also means because this election will still be according to the former lines, okay? Not the new lines that Texas approved for the 2026 midterms. It's still the previous lines we got, okay? So as you can see here, Houston has a little bit of the city center and then go all the way up to the very suburban areas, and a little bit here around the lake as well, very beautiful as well. And in 2027 this will be the new district, much more compact, if you will. And I would say I'm not so sure about the new composition, maybe we can check it here, okay? So in 2024 this was 77-22, but I suspect it's more Democratic. So you know how gerrymandering works, you need to pack Democratic voters if you are a Republican, and then you need to crack Democratic communities in order to have a small but a Republican majority, and that's really what are doing here. This is a very Hispanic district, okay? 43% Hispanic, then 32% Black, means we are in the city center, and only 17% white. And this is important, so we're not expecting the Republicans to have any result. Why? Because we're having 2 Democrats, and because the district is also very, very liberal. As you can see here, has been the downtown Houston district since 1972. So as you can see, this is very, very Democratic, and as you can see as well by the results, we're seeing Democrats reaching 70+%. In 2024, this was the result. Sylvester Turner, who unfortunately died last year, unfortunately died at age 70, if I'm not mistaken, and he won by around 40 points, which was a great margin, but it was similar to previous margin that Democrats got in this district. As you can see here, the Republicans only got 31%. This will be interesting to watch the turnout, because right now, in terms of the early vote, we have only 14,000 people that already voted, okay? And this is not great at all, because in the primary, we got 70,000 votes, if I'm not mistaken, exactly 76,000. And this was around, I would say, a very, very round number, around 40% or 35% of what it was in 2024. So it was actually a low turnout election, but not so low. But why this happened? This is very important, because in November, when we got the election, in Texas, we got many ballot measures, many propositions, okay? It was around, let's check, 17 propositions. And most of them were quite not competitive at all. Only this year was competitive. But as you can see here, Harris County is the biggest county in Texas, but it was even bigger because of they had the motivation to vote because of the congressional race as well. But this is the point. They had more elections to go. That's why we got a slightly higher turnout than what it was expected for a special election in a non-competitive district. So if you consider that right now we have 14,000 people and we still have 2 days of early voting, this is also a very important aspect. Texas only had early voting until, Harris County, which is Houston, only had early voting until the 27th, but right now we'll have 2 more days because of the inclement weather that we got during the weekend. I hope everybody is fine about that, because it was really bad. And right now we have 2 more days to compensate those 2 days that we need basically to close the polls, okay? This is also going to be important to watch this number, the 13,000, grow. So maybe we can reach 20,000 in early vote. But if that happens, we'll have like 30,000 votes during because we'll have like 10,000 on election day, and that means 30,000 on total. It's very bad result in terms of having a very low turnout election. And guess what? Who turns out in low turnout elections? It's the Democrats, of course. And that is expected them to win, of course, because it's only Democrats in the race. But as you can see, this could be a very competitive race between the two Democrats, and they are different. Okay, so as you can see here, Menefee has. I'm not so sure if I'm saying the name correctly, so I'm sorry for the candidate if I'm saying it wrong. We're having 1.5 million raise and 1.2 million raise for Amanda Edwards, which means he has an advantage, even though it's not huge. And in terms of the polling, as you can see here, we have 13% undecided by the Lake Research Partners, which is a D internal poll, and then we have 20% undecided for the University of Houston YouGov poll. And this one is better because it's like it is closer to where we are today, but it's a 13 points difference. You mean this is already decided? It doesn't mean that. Why? Because we have so many people that are still undecided, and they can go towards Amanda, and maybe this will change. But I don't know. We need to see about that. Of course, it depends on the candidate because those two candidates have different policies. Okay, that's very important if you are a voter. But it doesn't matter in the party that will control the seat. We know that also be the Democrats. So this is like a very important aspect in terms of having another Democrat in the House, because the Republicans now have lost another one in California, and he unfortunately died as well. We already have a video about that in the channel. And Gavin Newsom marked the election for August. Okay, so he died on January, and we'll have the election in August. So that's a lot of months until we have another replacement for the congressman from California, okay? And that's bad by itself, because Gavin Newsom is doing that because he wants to narrow the majority for the Republicans, which politically is understandable, even though if you want to live in a democracy, that's not the best thing you can do, okay? Even though that's what most people do, and even you can argue that Republican governors will do the same thing, and that's completely understandable given the environment. But that's bad because they will have a lesser member, and they have a very small majority. Republicans have like 220. Okay, and now we have that one less in California. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene still to be replaced in Georgia. And about that, I just want to tell you something. About Georgia, we will have an interview. I will record the interview on Monday, but then I will upload on Wednesday, probably. This is not 100% sure, but I already have one candidate for the Georgia's 14th Congressional District. They will have the election, and we will see about that. It will be very interesting. I said you guys in the community post to ask your questions, to send your questions, because I will ask to the candidate, and I hope you will be very pleased with that. But I'm ready trying to have a Democrat, because the first one we have is a Republican. I'm trying to get a Democrat to the Georgia's race as well, and I'm very close to it. And I hope you guys enjoy that as well, because it's a new approach I'm doing for the channel. And that's it. And the point is right now here that the Democrats are going to win. Republicans have a small majority. This is important. The question is really the turnout, because enthusiasm is in the party. Okay, and even though this is 100% guaranteed that Democrats are going to win the race, maybe enthusiasm can matter, and that will send a message again to Washington. And that's really the point of this all special elections. It's about getting turnout, getting enthusiasm, and maybe you can send a message to the Trump administration, to Washington, if you are unhappy with the current state of the country. That's just a very important if, because some people are happy, some people are unhappy. Thank you guys for watching the video. I just hope you subscribe to the channel down below. We reached today, by the point I'm recording this video, 210 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you guys all for the support. It's just amazing to get all of that subscribers. And don't forget as well to leave your like to make sure that YouTube know that you like the video and you hope to see more of it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on Saturday with the coverage of this very important election. Thank you.